Listen to The Brew for the best classic hits of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. KOKL, Okmulgee, Oklahoma.
SJ, welcome to Mvskoke Radio, your weekly source for tribal and community news, interesting guests and discussions, plus a local events calendar. Este Stongo, Gary Fife, Jaho Jifgados, Mvskoke Radio, Mabuhedget Awedges. Welcome to our program this week as we're getting into this new year, 2018, getting used to saying that, and off on a new year of scheduled programming here. We're going to start off this year with this program with two segments. We're going to have the folks from our Tourism and Recreation Division sitting here with me. And we're going to talk about the new director there and what that very important department has up its sleeve for the upcoming year. In our second section, Kevin Barnett will be joining us, and we're going to be talking with the members of the Mvskoke Nation Honor Guard. We want to know, a little bit about them, their function, what's it like to serve in that particular unit, and kind of get an idea of what all's involved in becoming. And if anyone's interested, I'm sure they'll be glad to accept some veterans who are interested in participating in those activities. But let's get on with it here. First of all, we want to welcome Mr. Kyle Lee, who is the new director. And welcome back an old face that has rejoined the tribe here and is back in the saddle, Brian on the hill. So thank you both gentlemen for coming down. We appreciate you making time in the schedule. I understand this is kind of a slack period right now as you're doing some planning and other consulting, things like that. So first of all, Kyle, tell us just a real capsule about who you are, I guess.
Sure. So I started in this role in October of last year, and it's great to be back home. I'm from this area. I went to high school in Morris, and I've been away from the area for quite a few years, and started a family and decided I need to come back home and be around our family. And so when this position opened up, it was a perfect fit for me to be able to work for my own tribe, and my background's in marketing. So hopefully, in this role, I can help market our tourism department and really grow that area for the tribe.
Oh, great. And once again, welcome back to Brian. It's so good to see you here.
It's so good to be back, Gary. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did you miss the last festival and not going berserk?
No, it was a really good break. And I didn't actually miss it. I was still there. My church is a very active vendor with the festival, and we've been so for, the last 30 years or more.
Oh, you're slinging tacos?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Well, the Tourism and Recreation Department has always got this immense task of promoting the tribe, representing us, putting on these events that are just absolutely essential to the tribe, I think, the festival being one of the biggest events all year. And we kind of need to drop back a little bit and find out what that function is. Now, it's got tourism there, which is a whole world by itself, and then recreation, which would include things like making sure the gym is up to par and this kind of thing. And, events like the splash pad and other things like that. So, Kyle, give us an idea of what your view there is of your department.
Sure, it's pretty wide-ranging, and some of it's a learning experience for me. Tourism is a lot of marketing, like I said, and so really just promoting what the tribe has to offer and trying to create more awareness about, our culture, our history, and then some of our businesses like, the casinos and our partnership with Riverwalk. And so doing a lot of that, that's a key function of what we do. And the recreation aside is completely different. So kind of managing two different animals. Recreation, we have the Mvskoke Dome. We host fitness classes daily. And so I think one of the key goals for us this year is to really grow fitness within our tribal citizens. Each day we track who all comes in and whether they're citizens or not. We want to see of our tribe or some other tribe that number grow. And so we're creating more programs right now. We recently added a seniors walking and stretching class 2 days a week. And so that's been well received so far. And this year, currently looking to hire a new recreation manager. But when that person comes aboard, we're looking at adding more classes and just more opportunities for people who are in different stages of life, giving them a chance to work out and get in shape or get in better shape. So we host basketball tournaments, we host events at the rodeo, softball tournaments, and just different events from different departments in the dome. So there's always different kinds of things going on. It's a lot of fun. In the fall and the winter, in the year, we just hosted several tourism events, including some movie nights. We did a Christmas movie, had Santa Claus there, and we had a Christmas market where we had quite a few vendors come out for that. And so just trying to create some events in the community here to get people over the dome and create new things for them to do. And outside of the dome recreation, our department also oversees Fountainhead Golf Course in Eufaula, which right now that golf course is being worked on very hard every day. It was over the last couple years. There's been some tough times out there, I guess. So right now we're working on clearing out trees, just cleaning up the course, cleaning up the clubhouse, painting, just getting it back into shape because what was once a really busy course has kind of died off a little bit. And in the spring, we're going to completely redo the greens and working with Brian on doing some rebranding for the course also. So the goal right now is to be ready to kind of relaunch by next July and kick off kind of a new season at the golf course and hopefully gain some of those members back and show people that we're serious about that place and we want them to keep coming back and enjoying what we have to offer out there.
You've mentioned things like maintenance there, which is kind of one of those subjects that's not out front. People really don't think of it much, but it's so important to making these things happen. Like clearing greens. I'm not a golfer, so whatever you guys got to do, whatever's appropriate there. You've got to handle that and the mundane kind of thing. Fitness programs were such an important part of the past couple of years now, but we've seen kind of a slowing down in that area. And I did hear one comment about, that workout room needs a little work. Some of the equipment's starting to show its age and things like that. Do you have budgets for that? Is there a way you can perhaps get some support and go in and tackle those things, like keeping things up?
Yes, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. Yesterday I had signed off on a purchase requisition to order quite a few new machines.
Yeah.
And so we were down to one treadmill working, which we ordered 3 new ones, plus a few other machines. And so we had that in the budget this year, and it was just time to pull the trigger. Mm-hmm. And so hopefully within the next few weeks, we'll have quite a few new machines for people to use. And that's one thing we're taking a look at over there is making sure we're utilizing the space to the best of our, to fit our needs. And so one thing we're looking at right now is using one of the extra locker rooms as a space to host workout videos. There's a way to where you can, someone could come in, pick what type of video they want to be, whether it's, Zumba or P90X or an ab workout or whatever, and they could work out on their own and just do something different and give people flexibility to kind of cater workouts toward their needs instead of just going off of what we have.
Yeah. I presume then you might have to adjust staff a bit or add staff. I don't know.
Excuse me. So with that, actually it's self-sustaining. So if we do that piece, there's a program you can buy to where whoever wants to come in just will say, hey, I want this 30-minute window blocked out, and they'll pick the workout they want to do, and they'll have free weights in the room, and they can just work out on their own without anyone managing that piece at all.
That's pretty cool, but my my aching back is saying, no, you don't. Get away from there.
That's why we have, workouts for everyone. So like I said, the senior walking and stretching class has been good because it's an approachable workout that anyone can do and just try to keep themselves active.
Right. Now, you've got a pretty hectic schedule usually for most of the year, but this is kind of a planning quiet period. Is it correct?
So right now, we're in the beginning stages of planning the Creek Festival, looking at entertainment and getting who's available. And we start our travel season actually next week. Brian heads off to, where are you going next week?
I'll be going to McAllen, Texas with Carmen Tiger, one of our other employees. And like Kyle said, this is a time that we spend on the road. We attend these consumer shows where we try to advertise the nation to people who might not know anything about it. And so we'll take our materials such as the travel guide. And this is a partnership with the Oklahoma Tourism and Recreation Department. And we actually share costs with the Lake Eufaula Association so that we may be able to spread the word about the tribe, our amenities, and maybe some cultural aspects that people might not be aware of that they can come see, visit, and be a part of.
You know, that's something that I've noticed on commercial TV stations, like the Cherokee Nation is always a presence there. I presume it would be nice to have the kind of budget they have, but
Right.
Their village there and the Morale House, the museum there, and then of course their Arts and Crafts Festival and other things that they do. Do you see you guys heading in those kind of directions as far as promoting the Creek Nation?
No, we definitely want to do that, and I know that Kyle's on board with that as well. He and I have talked about that. We want to expand into those areas. We're going to get there eventually. It just takes time and, like you said, money. We don't have the kind of budget that Cherokee Tourism does. They're backed like 100% by their casinos, and we're just not right now. Of course, we're a tribal program, so we're not under the casinos, but as they are. But we do receive funding from the casinos as well as tribal funding and things like that. But we just don't have the money in our budget to do those kinds of things that they do, like their village, which we've talked about. We've even had plans for it. We do want to do it. It eventually will happen, just not right away. So I just don't want people out there thinking that, oh, they're not doing anything. I haven't seen this. I haven't seen that. Why don't we have these things? There's a reason for those things. And if you want to know, just ask us. We're always available. We always are willing to talk to our citizens. And that's 100% why I think the majority of us do these jobs that we do is for the citizens.
But usually the answer you have to give them, unfortunately, is money.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, it's what makes things happen. Now, we've always looked at the festival, and every time you've been on, Brian, we've asked you, how do things get done? I've seen you running around trying to get the stage acts up there, and then somebody's lost kid, or somebody's cranky vendor is getting into somebody else's space.
That's my area right there, vendors. Love them.
You're listening, folks? So when Mvskoke Media gets there, look out. But we got anything formulated now? Is that festival kind of shaping up or coming together? What could we expect, perhaps, that you can share in the right?
Sure. So this will be my first festival to work, so I'm really excited to kind of see it all unfold. I know Brian and our team have done this for several years, and they're pros at it, and so I'm excited to see and learn from them and just help out how I can. Right now, like I said, we're in the planning stages, compiling a list of artists that are available, and we'll meet with Chief Floyd to go over those artists and determine who's the best fit for us, and then hopefully expand what we've done in the past and keep kind of trying to grow this event. I know talking to Jabon Gouge, there's quite a few citizens, that are out of this area that are interested in going. So we're working with his department and with River Spirit on, booking hotel rooms so we have some space for them to be able to come and enjoy the events. And so I'll let Brian touch on the planning process because he's done this more than me. But I think right now it's about to get busy. I'm excited to see, how that all goes and hopefully take from this year and learn and see what I can do next year to help add anything to it.
I know that I myself and a lot of other folks have always been nosy about that entertainment lineup. Now that's again governed by budget. I mean, we're not talking about booking Mariah Carey or anything like that. 'Cause
No.
way out of our field. But is there I don't know, a monetary level perhaps that you have to look at that artists kind of fit into that?
Yes, there's definitely a monetary level that we're trying to fit the artists in. We do look at certain levels of entertainment, and then right now our entertainment coordinators Ryan Logan and Carmen Tiger are looking at availables. So they work with several different talent agencies and get these availables, because this year, and I think last year was the very first time that we were able to acquire entertainment on our own. We did not work with another buyer as we have in the past. We're able to acquire our own entertainment, and we work in coordination with Chief and the administration, basically like what do they want to hear, what do they think our citizens want to hear, and we take their advice and seek those types of entertainers. And like I said, right now we're looking at availables, and so we see who's available. If those lists aren't satisfactory, then we'll go get some more and just keep going through those lists, and checking to see who's there. And if we see someone we like, we offer them a price, and if they like it, then we'll go with it. If they don't, then we'll find somewhere else, because we just can't throw any more money at them than we offer.
Yeah, and I think the selection that was presented last year went over really well.
I agree. Yeah, those are some people that we've talked about in the past. We just weren't able to get until last year, so that was really exciting.
Right, but it went over just like wonderful time there. People really enjoyed it and talked about it. About when might that lineup be announced, do you think?
We usually have that available early May. That's usually when we let people know. We usually do try to start working early on this, because it does take so long. There is a long contract progress for the contracts to be signed. AG, of course, has to approve them, make sure they're in line with the standards of the tribe, and it's the legalities of the tribe. And the entertainers, sometimes they just don't understand those types of things. So the AG has to work with them, the chief has to work with them, and make sure that everything is copacetic, so that we're able to get the entertainers in, get them on the stage, and get them paid.
Let me ask you this. It's kind of one of those weird questions I come up with from time to time, but have there been problems with entertainers and their personal demands? What do you call that?
The rider.
Rider, yeah, thank you.
Any blue M&M only.
Yeah. Regular mustard on the sandwich.
A lot of times we have people that ask for alcohol, and of course that's something that we cannot provide, and they're usually okay with that. I'm not going to tell you that they haven't brought their own, but you haven't seen it. We haven't seen it, and so, but I'm sure we know it's there.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that we've had to tell them no, and they understand. They get it. Other than that, there's nothing that's been too outlandish that we can't provide. And I have been on a few of those runs with Carmen to pick up those supplies, and it's very. Man, those lists are just crazy. Some of the things that they ask for, and we have to provide, and then full grocery baskets from Sam's, from Walmart. It's ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. Well, maybe we'll get into that sometime.
Pretty interesting topic, though, 'cause you never know what people are really like behind the scenes.
Yeah, well, what I get are the memories from that movie, This Is Spinal Tap, where the guy was complaining about having to fold the bread and make little sandwiches, which he didn't want. Anyway, that's horribly off the subject. The other jobs that you've got in mind there kind of cross over into, as I say, the mundane, dull kinds of stuff. And I'm not sure a lot of people know what's involved when, say, they want to rent the dome or want it set up for a special occasion. What's that process?
Sure. So we have lease agreements that we offer. To lease the dome for an event, you do have to pay a fee. And if you're a citizen, your fee is cheaper than for everyone else. And we lease it for all types of events. Tonight we're starting a men's basketball league, which will be every Wednesday for the next, I think, 8 to 10 weeks. And then we have a women's league starting in a couple weeks on Thursday nights. And so that's a pretty typical event. We're hosting a private screening of a documentary next month that's different kind of event. We've hosted birthday parties. A lot of different departments within the tribe host events there, which, those are at no cost. And then sometimes people want to use concession stands, and so that's a whole different part because you have to have a tax license, and so a lot of different parts are ways to lease the dome. If anyone ever wants to, you can just come see us or call the office over there, and we can work you through the paperwork and what the options are. The only thing we don't do is we don't open on Sundays, but we're open pretty much any other day to host for pretty much any kind of event.
Okay, well, let me get one step further in that process. Then, when people are looking at renting the facilities, you mentioned concession stands. I presume they'll have to get some kind of health permit or something like that.
Yeah, they work through the tax office on that, and making sure they're following all the health guidelines that the tribe and the state has. And
security, is that through Lighthorse?
Yes, if needed. I haven't seen any security needed for events. I don't know if, Brian, if you had any experience with
I haven't, but if they do need it, then they do contact Lighthorse, and they're usually glad to provide it.
Yeah, well, I was thinking something unexpected, like somebody showing up Haji and
right,
creating a real problem there.
Well, actually, we're hosting a state wrestling tournament next month. It'll be something new for us. So Morris High School, they have a new wrestling program as of a few years now, and they've selected to host a tournament. So it's going to be at the Dome the first weekend in February. So that'll be something neat that we're doing that's a little bit different.
Okay. Do you guys have anything else on your schedule for 2018 that you can share right now, or something perhaps you hadn't done in the past?
Right now, we're looking for opportunities for new events and just new ways to expose people to what we do in tourism within the tribe. Talking about adding some spring events. Typically, it's like I said, it's travel season right now, and we go to festival planning, and then it's festival, and we get ready for in the fall we have several events, and so wanting to kind of fit some more events in earlier in the year, in the summer if possible, more movie nights. Talking with the city here in Okmulgee about doing something in the council square, and with that opening this year, hopefully later this fall, hopefully we can do some events tied to that as well. It's going to be huge for us.
Well, you mentioned working with the city now. In the past few years, the tribe and the city have been trying to get a lot closer and working in coordination. Of course, the Festival Parade's still the biggest show in town, I'd say. And then mentioned the council house opening. And from what I understand, there'll be like a cultural center just across the street, and they'll be working together. How has the city of Okmulgee responded there?
So since I've been on board, it's been really great, actually. Been meeting with Heather Sumner from the Okmulgee Main Street, and as of this month, I'm on the board for that group. And so one thing they wanted to make sure was they had someone from the tribe on there, especially with the council house opening up. That's a key, point of interest here for downtown, and that's what they get most calls about is people interested in going to the council house. And so it's key for us to work together, and I'm excited to work with them and making sure that we promote what we have and what the city has together. They've offered, even though the events at the Dome aren't downtown or on Main Street, they want to help promote our events too that we have, which is nice. And then I think the council house opening this year is just going to be one of the biggest events in the city all year long.
Well, if we thrive, they thrive.
That's right. They need us, and like I said, they get more calls about that than anything that they do. So. Well,
I think that's a natural because the council house is like the crown jewel of downtown here. And its opening will be such an event. And I understand it's not slated to be a museum, but restored to its more original contours and furnishings and things like that. The museum part will be across the road, right?
Yeah, we're excited to see what it ends up looking like. Working with Veronica and the Cultural Center and Archives Department, we're going to help market that and then talk about promoting the process of getting all the exhibits inside there and just really showcasing our culture.
Mm-hmm. When someone is looking at putting on an event somewhere on creek grounds, whether it's the Dome or the grassy area next to Head Start, that open space, or something else. What's the process that someone would have to go through?
There are different people. This is Brian. There are different people that people will have to contact if they want certain areas. As for us, we are completely over the Claude Cox Omniplex. So if there's any area that people want to lease, rent, use, or whatever, they need to contact us to use those properties. Now, as for like you're talking about the grassy area, they're going to contact the tribe, probably chief's office. That place can direct them to the appropriate people to lease that property, because we don't handle that.
Okay, well, I'm not sure a lot of our citizens knew that, actually.
That's right. I don't think they do.
But if they want to put on a softball tournament, they come talk to you guys.
That's right.
I know that Gary, you were talking about that, and we do receive a lot of phone calls from people asking us questions about things that we're not over, and that's totally fine, because we'll find the people who they need to speak to and find out the proper process through which they need to go, and we'll get them in touch.
Has there ever been a request that you guys turned down because you said, no, thank you, I don't want this here? Some of the...
I think that there was one time we had like an MMA fight, and the space just wasn't appropriate for that. We just didn't have the proper infrastructure for those types of things, and it just didn't work. Right, and
That gets kind of crazy.
The electricity too, that's a big thing. If they want to put on some big concerts or whatever, our dome cannot handle that type of power, not at the moment.
Okay. Any plans for that kind of thing, by the way?
Not right now, at least.
Hall & Oates will not be here this year.
I know, looking at the amphitheater outside, though, I mean, we're looking at, I know Chief Floyd talked about the master plan when he talked to you last week, and part of that hopefully would be at, redoing that outside venue, and then hopefully doing some maybe shows throughout the year if that happens.
And this next question is still in that same vein, like, what do you turn down? But, there have been times when groups that, shall we say, spark racial reactions or whatever, something like that. Have they ever applied for a space there to put on an event? Yeah.
I don't know if I get what you're saying.
Well, I hate to say this, but something like the Klan or the Nazis or...
We'd probably say no.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Not even probably. We would say no.
Thank you for clearing that one.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Now, in the last couple of minutes we have, first of all, let me offer you, is there something coming up you want to make our listeners aware of? A new project, some plans, scheduling?
Just kind of the plan for this year, working on, how we're promoting, tourism. I talked to you before a little bit. We really want to own that stretch between Tulsa and Okmulgee, and really make sure that people know, they can go, to Tulsa and, do fun things like go to River Spirit or Flying T, but then they can come down here for the cultural piece and then and see, Council House when that's opened up. So we really want to make sure that we're branding ourselves and tourism appropriately and really getting the word out consistently about what our tribe has to offer. So we're excited to see kind of this new campaign unfold over this year.
Well, Tulsa would assume presents a wonderful opportunity. So will you be doing more things perhaps with the city of Tulsa?
Yeah, so since I've been here, been meeting with the Tulsa Visitors and Conventions Bureau, and they're very excited to see our tribe and department interested in working with them. And so met with them in kind of establishing a better relationship with River Spirit and Riverwalk also. I know Riverwalk is very interested in adding quite a few more cultural pieces to that area. And so working with, Brian on some design options for that, and really figuring out how to, as people are there, really understand that, our culture. Because they get a lot of people that maybe don't make it down here or even realize that, we're a part of that. And so that's going to be big for us to do, I think.
Yeah, that would be a wonderful opportunity to have, like at least a small exhibit hall or art gallery or something like that. all these people wandering by, come on in and learn about the Mvskoke people. Well, Kyle Lee, the new director at the Tourism and Recreation Department, and Brian Underhill, who has returned, the prodigal, is back with us. And it's so good to see you. We want to thank you guys for taking some time to come fill us in and kind of give us a little bit of a look into the future there. So now, if somebody wanted to get in touch with you and ask more questions and get a little more information on something, how do they do that?
You can call our main office line. It's 918-732.
7992. Also, and you were talking about events earlier, if they want to keep up on events, not just with the tribe, but also with our connections, like we were talking about Riverwalk, River Spirit, things like that. Also check our website, creektourism.com. We keep that up to date with all those events as well. And then check our Facebook too, that's Creek Tourism. And we always have those things listed there.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. We appreciate you joining us here today. We're going to take a couple of minutes here for a pause, and then we'll be right back with members of the Mvskoke Creek Nation Honor Guard. So please stay with us here on Mvskoke Radio on 1240 The Brew.
Hear that? That's the sound of Hope being killed by meth. Methamphetamine use is causing huge problems in our community. Hear that? That's the sound of something you can do about it. Events like rodeo, res ball, and family time can help keep kids away from meth.
Talk to your kids. Keep our culture alive. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America and the National Congress of American Indians.
Learn more at ncai.org.
Who am I? Am I Indian? Just 'cause I'm a girl from the res, don't make things up about me. What if I move away? Then who am I? Some kids try meth just to escape, but then I think about my grandma, my little brother, my beadwork, my poetry, and I think, I like who I am, and I know meth is not for me.
Check out ncai.org, a message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America and the National Congress of American Indians.
I started doing it when I was 11. I wanted to be just like my big brother. And some of my friends were already doing it. We got hooked fast. I just can't get enough. I'm Jacob, and I'm addicted to playing the drums.
There's lots of stuff that makes it cool to be native. Doing meth isn't one of them. Find something better to do. Check out ncai.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America and the National Congress of American Indians.
Who am I? Am I native? I don't want people assuming things because I'm Indian. I just want to be me. But how do I live in two worlds? Some guys just check out by doing meth. But that ain't for me. Because I see my family, my friends, my drum making, my future. There are a lot of cool things about being who I am. And meth isn't one of them.
Learn more at ncai.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America and the National Congress of American Indians.
All right, we're back here on Mvskoke Radio here on 1240 The Brew. We're going to have our second segment here, talking to members of the Creek Nation Honor Guard, the gentlemen who performed the flag duties and also assisted military funerals. But I'm going to turn the reins over to Kevin Barnett here, who's going to conduct this interview, and I'll just jump in if I feel like it. So how's that?
All right, thanks a lot, Gary. Now, today with us we have Thomas Yehola. He's the commander of the Creek Nation Honor Guard, and we also have the secretary of the Honor Guard. You guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves and what roles you play in the Honor Guard.
Okay, I'm Thomas Yehola, and it's Mvskoke Nation Honor Guard, and so I serve as the commander.
My name is Charles Eugene Melton, United States Marine Corps, Vietnam veteran, and retired First Sergeant, U.S. Army. My duties with the Honor Guard is to honor all veterans, tribal veterans, and I am the secretary for the Honor Guard.
Now, the first thing I'd like to talk about is just how old is the Honor Guard, when was it formed, and what brought about its formation?
Okay, we in Wetumpka formed as the Istijati veterans, and it was just veterans in Wetumpka that wanted to bring recognition to our veterans, and just a little informal group, and we marched into local parades and had some, a few fundraisers, and after a while, we felt like we wanted to do more. And we knew from experiences that some of our deceased veterans were not receiving the proper military rights at their burial sites. So we felt like that we could do that. And so what we did is that we went to the Seminole Nation Honor Guard and told them what our purpose was and if they would assist us in showing us how to perform these services for the deceased veterans. And they showed us, and they lent us their rifles, and they showed us how to play the taps and how to present the flag and the formation. So we just went from there. But I came to the nation. I was on the council, and so I authored a bill, and that is NCA 99-161, which established the Honor Guard, which would represent the nation at funerals and parades and other events.
And Charles, how did you become involved? Like,
my brother was a member before I joined, and he kept telling me about it for over a year, and I don't know if I wanted to get involved in the military. I retired out of it at 24 years, but I went to Macon, Georgia, and to our ancestral mounds. That's where our forefathers came from. And I seen the camaraderie of the Honor Guard. There was 5 of us that went, and I was just a guest. I rode in the van with them. And after I went to Macon, I came back and I said, this is a part of an organization that I wanted to be a part of and to honor our Native American veterans.
That's one thing I did see. I got to spend a little time with them when the Adowa Festival in Washington, D.C. I believe it was in November. And I got to spend a lot of time with the Honor Guard guys. That's why it really struck a chord in me. I wanted to bring a little bit of attention to it because I saw that camaraderie there. Anytime you get, and it goes across the board with any service member, no matter what branch you're in, that camaraderie is always going to be there. You went through certain things that are uniformly across the board with the type of the culture that is the military. That if you haven't been there, you don't understand it. And I think we talked a little bit outside in the lobby that there's that sense of humor. There's that bond. There's that common bond, and I definitely got to see that in Washington D.C. whenever I got to spend the day with Mr. Yahola here, as well as the Honor Guard representatives that went. Now I know that's one of the functions that you guys do is more ceremonial functions for I know for the Adowa Festival is the opening ceremony. Can you talk about the funeral rites, the funeral ceremonies that you guys conduct?
Okay, we've like I said, we've noticed that some of our veterans did not receive the military rights, and I saw that as a youngster when my father passed away. When the flag was presented, the funeral director handed the flag to my mother, and so I felt like those veterans that had served this nation deserved more than that, and that's how the Istijada Veterans came about, and then Mvskoke Nation Honor Guard. And as I said, Seminole Nation assisted us. And then we represent the nation at those funerals, and we do other activities also, but upon request. And but of course we get requests and we bring them before our monthly meetings, and I present those to the group. The group discusses it, and they decide if they want to participate or not. And that is like the Adowa Festival that was brought up in the meeting. We got our volunteers, and we also get invitations to go down to Macon, Georgia, for their annual festival in September. We participate in the Veterans Day Parade in Tulsa every Veterans Day when we finish our ceremony here at Okmulgee, and they go into Tulsa, and just recently we were kind of back of the line. For years now, we've moved up to behind the band now, so we've our status has moved up.
And so Tulsa, we're still here.
Yes, and so we're still here,
this.
and we do this for our veterans because they have served this country with honor, and as Native veterans, this is our country too, and we have to defend it, and so most of our participants now, they're Vietnam veterans, and they've been in combat, and they've seen some of their comrades fall in action, and they feel like they were lucky to come back. And so when we go to these funerals, we think about those that have fallen, those that have served, and we want to see them honored. And so this is what we do, and so it's an honor when a family calls us to do that for their veteran.
Now, you mentioned a couple of other activities and other duties that I know it's on. You guys get invited to other things. You guys just did one there where this weekend was it the Iowa tribe?
Yes, what that is our group where they were invited to the Otoe, Missouri, to their stand down. They requested a detail, and they participated up there. And while they participated, a representative from the Iowa tribe approached them, or they called me, and asked if our detail would carry in their flag at their powwow. And I said, I'll bring it before the group, but I also told her too that if we carry their flag, we will carry our flag also. And she was agreeable with that. And so the members voted on it, and we had volunteers that went up there and carried it out. And as a result, this coming Saturday, the Iowa tribe representative will come down and present handmade quilts to those individuals that made the trip up to their powwow. And so we'll be, those quilts will be presented, this Saturday at our monthly meeting, 10 o'clock.
Now, what are some of the requirements, in order to, what's the process, say, if you have a citizen had a loved one that passed away that is a veteran, served in the military, what would be the process? How do they go about getting in contact with the Honor Guard, the Mvskoke Honor Guard?
Well, firstly, some of the funeral homes, that know about the Honor Guard, and if they're one of our citizens, they will, give us a call, and then they will call me or the vice commander, and we will get the veteran's name, and if it's one of our citizens, and that we would do it, but be sure and get their DD 214 to the funeral home so they can get the flag. And once they get the flag, then that's our key, to participate. But not just for our citizen veterans. If there's another Native veteran, that calls us, then we'll do that also.
Okay.
Something that we've seen in the past is that Thomas would get maybe 2 different calls, some from the funeral home and some from the family. We would prefer that the family member called and make the arrangements for us to come there, because we've been in situations where there's been 2 honor guards there, or the family didn't know that the other one was going to be there.
Okay.
So it's we would prefer a family member, immediate family member to coordinate that with the honor guard.
No, I know it's anytime you attend a funeral service, it's touching, but can you just talk on some of the the feedback or the appreciation that from the family members that you've interacted with so far?
Well, let me tell you about this one that was unusual. I received a call from this citizen, and his father had, passed away some time ago, and the funeral had already been conducted, and his father wanted to get the honor guard to do. The father wanted to get the military rights, but it was never carried out, and so he called me and wanted to know if we could do something. And I thought about it and brought it before the group, and I asked where he was buried at. And it was a little cross-sided church at Cromwell, and he had already been buried, and the grass has already grown. And I said, do you still have the flag? And he said he did. And I said, well, talk to your family, set a time, call us, and we will do something. So we went down there. The family was there on that given day. They got the flag, and they showed us where the grave was at. And so we unfolded the flag and held it over the grave, and then we fired our rifles and played the taps and refolded the flag and gave it back to the individual. And after that, they felt like there was closure, both for the veteran himself when he requested it, and for the family also. So we work out things like that.
And that's really important for a lot of, again, like you said, closure.
Mm-hmm.
Closure for veterans. That's one of those things that, again, I think I mentioned outside, like my father, I mean, that does comfort him,
Mm-hmm.
knowing that, he is gonna receive those, again, military rights that, you don't think about it when you're 20 something,
Mm-hmm.
In your early 20s in the military, but as you get older, that's one of them things that it's kind of a, like you said, a conclusion to that little phase in your life, something that you gave your life to, and it's just part of it. I know me myself, I know that'll be some comfort to me whenever, my father has that, whenever, hopefully it's you guys, or or it will be. So now let's talk about how you guys, some of the training, some of the drills. Now that I know you guys meet once a month, whenever, say, a new recruit comes in, a new volunteer comes in, what's the induction process?
Well, what they do is we ask them to come to our meetings. We conduct our meetings there every second Saturday there at the Mount, at council chambers in the Mount, and we just ask them to, sit in on our meeting. We have our minutes that we read, and we have our financial report, and then we have an update on the activities that we've done in the past month, either like funerals or if we posted colors for a program, and then we talk about requests that we received, and then we address it and let the group make the decision. And then as they see, the process, and perhaps they've seen us, at some function, at a funeral or a parade, and so that's how we, hopefully, that's how they come in and have an interest on being part of a group like that.
Let me ask you a couple of things about that group. First of all, how many members do you have? And is one particular branch of the service more well represented than others?
Well, we have about 20 members. We have about 12 that are core members that you can really, count on. And most of us made up of the Army. Probably the Marines are next, and then and then the Navy. So
thanks, Mac.
That's about our makeup, So, but if we have to, and if we have to split up, then we'll call the reserves in so that we can send two groups in two different directions to take care of these, funerals.
Do you have any women members at all?
No, we had one at one time, but she had to pursue her, career in law, and so she had to leave the area and wasn't available anymore. But we do welcome women, and we welcome new recruits also, and so that's something that we want to emphasize too. That the ones that we have now, they're older, like myself, and they have disabilities, but still yet they want to do it. They want to do it, and you have to want to do it. Mm-hmm. So we're always open for recruitment, and hope that individuals have seen us and how we participate, and just want to be part of our group.
Let me take that one step further. Do potential members have to be combat veterans?
Oh no, just a honorably discharged veteran.
Now, one thing that we kind of spoke on earlier was, was the recruiting, how you guys are replenishing your numbers. And right now there's about 20 members total, and 12 core members. Like, what kind of efforts do you guys do to bring that new blood in? I know, and well, first of all, can you speak on some of the things that might hinder that are hindering the new blood from coming in?
Well, as I mentioned in our discussion, as I said, most of our group were older and have disabilities, but I think the younger ones are at this time pursuing, careers. That's employment, family time, and so I know that's important, and so that's probably one hindrance that we're not getting, those now.
Charles, let me ask you, when you perform a ceremony like this, it's got to be quite an emotional occasion. How do you feel when, say, you attend the funeral of a fallen veteran and help that family find its closure?
When you bury someone, a family member and a loved one, and a veteran is even more sacred. Myself, I can speak for, is that I feel something not only for the veteran, but for the family also. One experience I had, our commander wasn't there, and I presented the flag to this individual, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it again because that was looking in my mother's eyes, and but I did. I stumbled through it, and I asked the commander that if I never have to do that again, I probably would, but I wouldn't want to do it again because I couldn't sleep for 2 nights.
Yeah.
And well, we love our veterans.
Mm-hmm.
We love all of them. The ones that's gone, passed on. We're all warriors. We still warriors now, today, and we always will be. But if the young veterans out there that's listening to this program, you can call us. Thomas is not hard to get in touch with, and myself, my number is 918-617-2578, and I'll talk with anybody about joining the Honor Guard. And we all, if you know one of the Honor Guard members, just talk to them, and we need some help. But
the opportunity to serve again is so wonderful, and
Yes.
I had never really ever thought about the servicemen, servicewoman who completed that ceremony and handed that flag off, and to see a grieving wife or a mother or whoever else, you think, oh my God, that's gotta hurt.
yes.
And it does. Oh boy, I don't know if I can handle any more, Kevin.
But believe me, it was an honor to do that,
yeah.
and it's an honor just to serve the veteran, the firing of the rifles, saluting the individual that's passed, but.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up now. Before we go, again, I'd like to just emphasize that you guys do need constant. I mean, you guys need to replenish numbers. I mean, that's just with any organization. You want people to get involved, especially with something like this, something as important as this. And I think we talked outside that, not every tribe has an honor guard. I mean, we're one of the fortunate tribes that has a professional honor guard, and I'd just like to thank you guys. And again, if you're out there listening, and you're a veteran and you'd like to get involved, just contact, if you could, just get your contact information one more time.
My number is 918-617-2578. Charles Eugene Melton, and the commander, Thomas Yahola.
My number is 918-758-7001. Just waiting to hear from you.
Okay, thank you all for being with us
Thanks,
today.
gentlemen.
Thomas Yahola and Charles Milton, I want to say we appreciate what you've done for the country and your service, and for taking time to join us here. We'll take a short pause here on Mvskoke Radio and be back with some community announcements. So please stay with us here on 1240 The Brew.
Who am I? Am I native? I don't want people assuming things because I'm Indian. I just want to be me. But how do I live in 2 worlds? Some guys just check out by doing meth. But that ain't for me. Because I see my family, my friends, my drum making, my future. There are a lot of cool things about being who I am. And meth isn't one of them.
Learn more at ncai.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America and the National Congress of American Indians.
I started doing it when I was 11. I wanted to be just like my big brother. And some of my friends were already doing it. We got hooked fast. I just can't get enough. I'm Jacob, and I'm addicted to playing the drums.
There's lots of stuff that makes it cool to be Native. Doing meth isn't one of them. Find something better to do. Check out ncai.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America and the National Congress of American Indians.
Okay, we're back here on Mvskoke Radio. First of all, we'll give you kind of a news briefing update. The Mvskoke Nation National Council held its special session January 6th at the Mound, and that was to swear in representatives and elect officers. The council voted to re-elect Tulsa Representative Lucian Tiger III as Speaker, and the council voted to re-elect Creek District Representative David Hill as second Speaker. And both elections were conducted by closed ballot. So congratulations, gentlemen. All right, let's see what you can do. Okay, getting on with some of our announcements here. The Mvskoke Creek Nation at-large citizens quarterly outreach will be taking place January the 19th at the Oklahoma City Creek Association, Mvskoke Creek Association in Oklahoma City. So for more information, you want to give Jubon Gouge a ring here at the Tribe, 918-732-7752. Okay, what else we got here? Spring Celebration T-shirt design and art contest. And they are accepting artwork until January the 26th of this year. 3 divisions, kindergarten, 6th grade, and 9th grade to the 12th grade. And there are prizes for each division, of course. And the theme, Youth Celebrating Tradition. So if you've got young artists there in the family who might be interested in competition, please give them a call, and that's 732-7600 for the main number for the Tribe, and they would love to hear from you. So use of creativity and how well the artwork relates to the theme, Youth Celebrating Traditions. So if you're interested, give them a call and check it out. Okay, moving on. Here's a notice for the Mvskoke Creek Nation 2018 Scholarship Pageant. They are accepting applications. They've already begun and will open that deadline until February the 28th. And of course, there are 2 divisions, Junior Miss, ages 14 to 17, and Miss, ages 17 to 24. Those attending or enrolled in higher education there too, please, with some nice prizes. And if you're interested, request
Welcome
an
to
application
Mvskoke Radio, your weekly source for tribal and community news, interesting guests and discussions, plus a local events calendar.
Let's see here. We've got Project Launch coming up. It's a humorous look at parenting and a serious look at discipline. So in the presentation, you'll learn how this program 1, 2, 3 Magic breaks down the task of parenting into 3 straightforward jobs.
Don't go, Gary Fife, Welcome to this week's edition of
your child. Oh my gosh, discipline.
We've got some wonderful things.
That's coming up on,
they've
got one on the 29th at the second floor conference room in the housing building. And if you're interested, get a hold of Natalie
Tourism and Recreation. We've got a couple of others.
486-8965.
Have occupied their time.
And the Red Stick Gallery, operated by the Mvskoke Creek Nation, they are offering a 10% discount on all your total purchase starting today and going all the way through Saturday. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4:30 p.m., and on Saturday, 10 to 3. Located on 105 South Grand Avenue.
Those dates, I think, actually were.
We will be broadcasting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I might have handed you an old one there, but
so
the idea was to remind you the Red Stick Gallery is down here, and I've gotten Christmas presents down there. And
live broadcast from this festival Friday morning.
Check it out.
Which is kind of a quiet time.
And of course, Mvskoke Media
If
has
you're
T-shirts
wandering around, come by
bags and
come by the festival grounds.
coffee
say
mugs
howdy,
for sale
and
with the
say
new
hello to
Stajati and Miko
in
designs.
the meantime, we're
Okay, you made
making
it through
up
the show
as we
today.
go. So let me share
All right, that's
some,
it.
community
Gary Fife
announcements
saying
here.
Marblehead Scott,
Make things,
and
upside
we'll
down
check
here
you out
on the
next
show.
week.
Kind of some of the things that we've been awful pressed to put out, but we haven't exactly had the time. First of all, here's a salute to our wonderful Mvskoke Youth, the Mvskoke Youth Awards Band. It's coming up June the
You've been
20th.
listening to
That'll be
Mvskoke
at
Radio.
Tuesday at 6
Join us
p.m.
again
at
next week
Mvskoke
for more
Dome.
local, tribal, and community news
That's
and
to
updates.
celebrate the
Ditto.
wonderful achievements of the youth visionaries of the help, as well as members of the Mvskoke Nation Youth Council. Tickets are on sale for $10 and can be purchased at their youth services office here in downtown Okmulgee or at the door. And if you're interested, you can give them a call at 918-549-2557 if you have questions or need more information. Okay, let's see what else we got. All right. For all of you basketball fiends out there, a 3-on-3 tournament coming up Saturday, June the 17th. Where are we? Yeah. 9 a.m. Mvskoke Dome at the Claude Cox Complex. And we're looking at having them come in. So we're going to take a short pause while we rearrange ourselves and be right back with you.
One Fire Casino in Okmulgee offers Ladies' Day every Monday with $5 match play, VIP days for seniors on Tuesdays, lunchtime match plays on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and several other great drawings and prizes throughout the weekend. Don't forget to take advantage of spinning the wheel on Sundays to win up to $5,000 cash. Be sure to check out the daily meal specials at Council Oak Cafe. There are exciting monthly giveaways with extravagant prizes. Come and play at One Fire Casino, where it really is okay to play with fire.
It's once again time for the 43rd Annual Mvskoke Nation Festival Weekend, June 22nd through 24th in Okmulgee, featuring your favorite festival events including cultural activities, the art market, the all-Indian rodeo that started it all, sports competitions, the parade, plus a can't-miss entertainment schedule. Grammy Award winner Leanne Womack headlines Country Night Friday, June 24th at 9 p.m. Saturday night, June 25th is Blues Night, headlined by Kenny Wayne Shepherd. For more information on Festival Weekend, including schedules and entry forms, visit creektourism.com.
I started doing it when I was 11. I wanted to be just like my big brother. And some of my friends were already doing it. We got hooked fast. I just can't get enough. I'm Jacob, and I'm addicted to playing the drums.
There's lots of stuff that makes it cool to be Native. Doing meth isn't one of them. Find something better to do. Check out ncai.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America and the National Congress of American Indians.
All right, welcome back to our program. And as we were making some progress here in our Make It Up As You Go Along program, we've got Ryan Logan from Tourism and Recreation on the line. How are you this morning, sir?
Good morning.
I understand you're kind of busy over there, huh?
I want to make sure that we had you guys covered.
Oh, well, I appreciate it so much because I was staring at about 25 minutes of dead air almost. Now, first of all, my salute to you and your crew there. You're working with a reduced task force there. I understand there have been some changes in the personnel over there, and you're covering a lot more bases. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we've had a lot of changes on there, but the festival's still going full force.
Yeah, okay. We'll come out just as crazy and mad as the rest of your crew there. Well, we want to first of all say thank you for making time for me this morning. I know that your schedule is berserk, but we wanted to run over the schedule as best as we can, and a few changes and things that people need to be aware of this year's festival. First of all, no ice chest, right?
No ice chests. We do allow people to bring in drinks and food or whatnot, but the Light Horse Police cannot see through them, and we want to make sure it's a family and family atmosphere and safe for everybody. So we do not allow alcohol on the premises, and that's why we have to unfortunately ban ice chest.
Right, that's how it was being, let's call it, smuggled in. So, folks, if you're thinking about bringing alcohol with you to enjoy a concert or so, try a soft drink or something that's available out there. Sorry to say, no ice chests, first of all. Okay, now we've actually seen the festival kick off back on June the 3rd. On Saturday, we had our Miss and Junior Miss Mvskoke Creek Nation Scholarship Pageant at the Dome, and we have new royalty for this year, right?
Yes, we do. Yeah, we're really excited to have them. This will be their first festival as being Miss and Junior Miss, and they'll get to see festival from a whole new light, seeing the rodeo and going through the parade and whatnot. It'll be a great time for them.
Right. You wouldn't happen to have some names there handy, would you?
Oh, I sure don't. I made sure to come over to a very quiet place so I could have my full directions for you guys.
Well, bless your heart once again. Okay. Well, folks, you will see these royalty this year at many events. We're sure that we're going to try and get them on the program here to talk about what they've got in mind. Okay, moving on our schedule there. Friday through Sunday, June 9th through 11th, is the annual golf tournament. A 4-person scramble. That's at Fountainhead in Shakota.
Yes, that was this past weekend. Friday had filled a couple of weeks before, actually. So we had a great turnout. We had some fun times down there. Fountainhead had all their staff out there working really hard and ensuring all the citizens and guests had a good time.
Oh, that's cool. Moving along, we've got the slow pitch softball tournament coming up starting Friday, correct?
Yes. We just got the brackets posted yesterday, so I can't reinforce that idea, too much. That the brackets are posted. They're on creekfestival.com, and they're also posted on Facebook. But we have 117 games scheduled for this weekend.
Oh, God. You're going to have any 4 a.m. Starts there? I presume your tournament will last long into the night if need be.
Yes, we'll be utilizing both the city fields in Okmulgee, their 2 fields, and also our 4 Clover here as well.
Okay, I know that's a hugely popular sport among our citizens. Tell me, I know you probably have been pretty busy during the festivals there, but do you have any dynasties showing up in the softball world there? Is there a town or a team that's consistently on top there?
Yeah, we really do. I mean, actually, the majority of them are. They kind of a repeat. We're very blessed to be our timing of the festival. That it's kind of the beginning of the softball season, and so